YouTube ads to play. Apparently, Gunna has been paying for YouTube ads to play his songs before Young Thug's like songs from his album. This is the money on money.
How the hell are you how can you even do that, shorty? You put the ad on every Young Thug song, but the ad is your song. It's crazy, but I ain't never heard of nothing like that.
Music video, and somebody is getting an ad for Gunna's song with Burna Boy, okay? So Gunna low-key is trolling behind the scenes. He's trolling Thug, all right? This ain't even a bad strategy. This is a good way to soak up some views because you got all these people clicking these songs and you're just slipping in your song there, getting a few extra views and all of that.
Bad bitch trying my bed. Trying to do that cause this bitch be whack. I just fucking out dip you crazy. Bitch come through, she gon' throw shit back. Let me talk about brother got the bag. When now he ain't even have bite. Niggas bouncing and killing on sight. Heard that brother ain't definitely right.
Man, Gunna is still trolling Young Thug behind the scenes. Shorty, tap in.
So it looks like the Young Thug saga has really reached its conclusion. We finally have the sales data for his project, Uai Scooty. I think I'm saying that right now. Uai Scooty. I'm not fully sure. But we actually do finally have the first week sales. And I'm not going to lie, they're actually better than some people expected. People were saying that he was projected to sell 48,000 units. And, you know, some people, including, well, not really too many people, mainly me, pointed out that 48,000 units was a pretty tragic number to be pushing, considering the fact that allegedly, reportedly, Gunna had actually moved 48,000 units in the second week of his last one album dropping. Now, fortunately, Young Thug did avoid this fate perhaps worse than death because he allegedly has sold 54,000 units first week of his project. Now, look, this is ultimately disappointing, okay? People in the Gunna subreddit are pointing out that Wanna just sold 22,000 copies of his project in the 8th week. But really, this is better than people were expecting, okay? 48,000 would have been a pretty severe violation. 54,000, it's better, but it's still not up at those numbers that Young Thug really wishes that he was pushing. You know, he went back and forth with Gunna. He was over the moon that he had sold more units of him on his Business album that dropped when Gunna's Gift and a Curse dropped. But ultimately, it's landed at number 6 on Billboard. And, you know, it's still not a good look, okay? It's still a slight fall from grace, but really this is better than we were expecting, and you got to hand it to him, okay? He did pop out with an album, all right? He wasn't running scared. He did pop out with music, and it is what it is. But people weren't feeling it, okay? This is the Gunna subreddit, so you got...
He said people weren't feeling it. How you get so much that fast, though?
Take it with a pinch of salt. But people saying the album was just sad, and I'm saying this as a Thug and a Gunna fan.
He said the album was just sad. Nah, facts though, bro. That John, bro. I don't know. I don't even know why that nigga Young Thug still be making music, cuz.
I didn't expect Bart 6, Jeffrey, or So Much Fun level, but definitely something creative and unique for someone at Thug's caliber, because he's one of the most creative artists of the past 10 years. Sure, the deluxe was effing phenomenal, but I wish the album had some life and some creativity. People are saying, so Gunna won, right? Mind you, this is the biggest sales he will get as his comeback. The next album doing 30K first week. He's going to need a lot of antics to overcome this. But I do agree when people are saying that Gunna's won, Gunna kind of did win the beef at this point. I mean, this was a beef at the end of the day. Yeah. And Gunna did win it. Gunna had it, okay? And it's not just the sales, okay? The critical reviews of Thug's Uai Scooty weren't too good either. It had, I think there's a Metacritic score, 43. His other projects fared much better.
Yeah, bro, that joint was pookie, shorty. Pookie. You need to leave it up to a new rapper. Teach a new rapper something. Be a ghostwriter or something. I don't know, bro. Ain't nobody hearing no Thug no more, gang. I ain't gonna fake it to you.
But even the critics weren't feeling it, okay? People weren't feeling that N-word song. But what's really interesting, okay? People have been trying to share their theories as to why Thug has kind of not really been delivering the quality that people expect of him. And it's a very sad theory, but it possibly has some weight. People are saying the reason Young Thug is doing so badly is because he's not on drugs anymore. Now, I don't condone this, you know. I feel like a clean lifestyle is probably better for him. We've seen Gunna go clean and get way more healthy. But people are saying Young Thug is not high. I'm telling you that Young Thug is acting so different because he's not high. Coming from an ex-drug addict, when you're high, you're a totally different person from when you're sober.
No, that's
We're
a
so
fact.
used to Thug's personality that came from him sipping lean and popping perks and smoking gas. Now he ain't popping nothing, so his personality is totally different. I hate to say it, but if Thug don't start sipping lean again, get used to seeing this nervous, boring, low-energy version of Thug. Shake my head, it's a shame, but he built his entire career from how drugs caused him to act and carry himself. But people are saying...
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. Damn. That's crazy, bro. You would never think of it like that. That's wild, bro. He did, like, his whole career, he was off all the drugs and stuff, shorty. And now, he's clean. His music is pooky, shorty. Pooky. I'm about to get clean, too. Fuck all that. I'm clean. I just be smoking, bro. I can't even keep smoking, bro. You see me, but, like, I barely can talk on this joke. I be fried.
And I'd rather he be clean than die from an OD, and I'm agreeing with that. I feel like the clean lifestyle is probably the way to go, because his health was really in a bad spot at one point. He talked about...
Wait. Chat. I read y'all the title, right? I said Gunna still trolling Young Thug behind the scenes. Okay. What the fuck is we watching? What is we watching right now, bro? I be bro, they be clickbaiting me, bro.
Where, you know, Young Thug really has been dragged through the mud. He partly did it to himself through all of this hypocrisy and through all of this hate I know that much about. But, like, people used to always talk to me about, like, David Bowie and, like, how he reinvented himself and came up with all these different characters to kind of revitalize his career. You know, all of that stuff. So he kind of reverse-botted Young Thug. I'm not going to...
So he just clickbaited us like this, chat? He just did his bag, eh?
Team Gunna. I am rooting for Young Thug to kind of rise up against this, have a new career rebirth. You know, I would love to see him pop out with a whole new persona, a whole new angle. This is the perfect time for Young Thug to reinvent himself and to just take a whole new different lane with the music.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, the situation does seem like he kind of lost out to Gunna on this one. He lost out on the sales.
Bro, he was gonna lose to that nigga Gunna anyways, bro. Young Thug had nothing on Gunna after these years, bro. He had his time to shine, bro. Sometimes niggas just don't be wanting to give it up. Nigga, your shine is over with, nigga. You washed, nigga. You washed off, nigga.
Lost when it came to trying to destroy Gunna's career. That didn't work. Young Thug's career has unfortunately hit quite a rough patch. And that really is because of the, you know, exposure that he's had, people calling him a hypocrite and stuff. But the last thing that I want to leave you with that I think is funny. Gunna has stayed silent on this whole thing. He's not said a word, okay? And that's been very smart. The less Gunna says, the more aura he builds up, and the more that Young Thug put out there into the ether, talking, interviews, interrogations, tweets.
Yep.
It only did... all it really did was kind of chip away at the facade, put cracks into the glass, and kind of make him look worse.
Yeah, facts though. Bro, staying silent on the nigga? Staying silent on the nigga when all this going on? It's crazy. It's crazy. They know they lost, bro. You stay silent on a nigga, bro, they get to acting worse, bro. They get to... You make a nigga real mad when you stay silent, bro. I don't know how to do it, but some people actually make a nigga mad staying silent, bro. You really get mad as hell.
Make him look too human. Make him look more human. A lot of rappers and artists, we deify them. We look up to them like gods. They're like beyond human, you know. People worship artists. And that's because of the aura around them. You know, someone like Playboi Carti, we barely hear a peep for this guy in years. People are hanging on his every word. So Thug really put too much out into the marketplace, and Gunna has stayed quiet. But we know behind the scenes, Gunna is probably laughing his ass off at this situation. And I can't wait for another Gunna album, because we know he's going to break it all down and drop a few little pot shots to let us know how he was feeling about the situation. But the one thing that has just came out that appears to show that Gunna has low-key, him or his team, all right, they low-key have been twisting the knife on Young Thug, because this has surfaced on the subreddit, the Young Thug subreddit. Apparently, Gunna has been paying for YouTube ads to play his songs before Young Thug's songs from his album. This is the Money on Money music video, and somebody is getting an ad.
Wait, what the hell?
YouTube ads to play. Apparently, Gunna has been paying for YouTube ads to play his songs before Young Thug's songs from his album. This is the Money on Money.
How the hell are you how can you even do that, shorty? You put the ad on every Young Thug song, but the ad is your song. It's crazy, but I ain't never heard of nothing like that.
Music video, and somebody is getting an ad for Gunna's song with Burna Boy, okay? So Gunna low-key is trolling behind the scenes. He's trolling Thug, all right? This ain't even a bad strategy. This is a good way to soak up some views because you got all these people clicking these songs and you're just slipping in your song there, getting a few extra views and all of that stuff. So he kind of reverse-botted Young Thug, I'm not going to lie, and it's a smart move.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People saying Future going to be the first 50-year-old trap rapper. People going, yeah, they're going heavy on ads on this deluxe. I got 5 Gunna ads for it. Full song playing for every deluxe song, and I knew instantly. Thug's products today for Ooh I Scooty, S tier best. How do you compete with this sort of artistry? You think they're purposefully advertising on Thug's videos? I think they are, and I know that you can. People say, I don't know purposefully, but keywords are key here when using Google.
He said, I think they are, and I know that they can. That's wild, bro. That's wild. Yeah, Google could do shit like they could do what they want on that joint, bro. I'm out of here, bro. Gunna, hey man, clap it up for Gunna, shorty. I don't even know what to say about him, bro. Think about it, bro. He stayed silent this whole time and playing his cards right and still making his money, nigga. He trolling you in silence, my nigga. He is crushing you in silence. He got his songs playing before your song play. And the ad, the whole song too. That's crazy, bro.
Ads and